We came so far from dreams. The path was hard for me. They thought we fall, you see. Well, look at us now, look at us now. We make it hot when we on the scene. Yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team. Yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around. You know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we. Tell me who better than we. We soaring to places you never could reach. When we walk in that spot, don't hear none of you speak. Shh, do you want peace or the peace? A king about to put you to sleep. Listen, my team is elite. You not even qualified to compete. He starving, he barely can eat. I guess that's why he always itching for beef. So I put him on ice and I told him to chill. Close your mouth if you can't pay for the meal. Making statements that you know you don't mean. Nice guy trying to act like he mean. Keep it a buck, keep it a bean. Attitudes will put you dudes in the beam. Isekai, he don't live in reality. Shake back off, become a fatality. Yeah, how you gon' hate when you mirror us? He think he a star, he ain't serious. X him out, we not on the same frequency. If you broke, you ain't hearing us. Work the screw, anime, that's how I feel, period. We winning, that's making them furious. We make it high when we on the scene, yeah, that's 1,000 degrees. I got a grind for me and my team, yeah, you know we gon' eat. You see the crowds when we come around, you know that I roll with some kings. We sit it down, I don't hear a sound, but I ask you who better than we.
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Mooky here, and today's the day. Today's the day I do something new on the channel once again with a one-shot series. And this one-shot series will be focused on that of the newest superhero anime, or I should say, donghua, that has been basically taking the world by storm by how beautiful the animation is, the characters are, and how well the storytelling is. And this is To Be Hero X. Just like that of my Total Drama series, where I put characters from anime and, well, video games into that of Total Drama Island, but based on that of their ages, and focus on that of their ages. For a what if like this, I can basically use any character I feel like for the what if, but I have to be precise after all. I don't want to just make everything so random and basically change the entirety of canon of To Be Hero X after all. So I'll be basically going into that of these one-shots be focusing on the origin and how that of our main cast or our main character basically reached the top 10. Unfortunately, if I do this, I would have to remove at least one of the main 10 protagonists within, or I should say, main 11 protagonists within To Be Hero X after all, given that Nice is a main character, unfortunately, alongside Fraud Soul, but hey, who could say? At any rate, let's go back of a quick rundown of the rules if you guys haven't seen that of the short explaining the rules for this what if one shot. I'll be focusing on the origin and the development of the character based on this what if, after all, one shot. How they basically grew into the rankings, only add a select few of characters from that of the original world that they're from, not wanting to change too much, have their powers be based off that of their abilities and strengths from that of they're originally known for, and make a believable origin story that would fit well within to the world of To Be Hero X after all, and would lead them to be in the top 10. So with out of the way, so let's get into this. This is what if Deku was in To Be Hero X. If you saw the thumbnail, yes, Izuku's the first one up. Out of that of the underdog trio on this channel, of course he would be the first one. At any rate, with all that said, let's get into this. Shall we, guys? Year 25 of the after commission era, a young boy by the name of Izuku Midoriya is born into the world. A boy with messy green hair, diamond-shaped freckles on both cheeks, big wide green eyes, and a blinding smile for somebody so innocent. From a young age, living in a world like this, of course, somebody like him would basically admire and look up to heroes, would want to be like heroes after all. There were many great heroes as the years go by, but there was never a hero that he can truly latch on to, a hero that he admired so deeply. But all that changed during that of the after commission era, year 30, when he was 6 years old, when that of the hero Smile won the 15th Hero Commission Tournament. From that day on, Izuku began to admire the hero Smile, wanting to emulate him, constantly smiling all the time too, wanting to help and save those in need, giving them that of a kind-hearted smile. Even as the years go by, when he lost the title of X to that of the up-and-coming female heroine, Boa, Smile's popularity never truly faded. He was always still in the top 10, and was always admired by others and many more. As Izuku wanted to be a hero, however, he needed that of trust value, which he only had that of one person who actually genuinely trusted him, and that being his single mother, Inko Midoriya. Well, not technically single, as she is married. However, due to her husband constantly working and traveling from home, she's the only person that's always there for Izuku. Izuku only speaks to that of his dad over the phone from time to time for his birthdays, or for that of Christmas after all. But even so, that one trust value is all he needs, as he wants the strength and power of Smile. He wants to be just like his idol, always there to give those a smile, to cheer them up, to promise them that everything will be okay. But even when you only have one trust value, it's not enough when other people around you barely even trust you yourself. But even if Smile is his idol, he does admire other heroes. Like, for example, heroes like Queen, Boa, Firm Man, and the Johnnies like that of Little Johnny and Big Johnny as well. Even other up-and-coming heroes like that of, well, Lucky Cyan and even the newest version of Iso. However, he admires that of the old Iso even more, to be honest. Not as much as Smile, but he can't help but respect the original Iso, especially what he did and what is told on what he did for the world, after all. Yet, Izuku gets that as an unpopular opinion, that he shouldn't basically admire the old Iso and should focus more on the new guy instead. Not to mention, because of his obsession for that of heroes, Izuku is seen as that of, well, an otaku, a nerd, especially from that of his childhood friend, Katsuki Bakugo. However, Bakugo, on the other hand, unlike Izuku, who only still has that of one trust value, Bakugo, due to his high charisma, basically better at everything, from that of academics, athleticism, and everything else, he's already been admired by many, many, many people. And due to this, his trust value basically shot up, even gaining that of the powers to create explosions. Due to this incident, a lot of people see Bakugo as the next chance of becoming a great hero. Hell, a lot of people, even from that of their own school, from teachers, have been trying their best to get Bakugo noticed by that of the many hero agencies. His best option, basically using FOMO, the video media site that amplifies and gives that of people trust after all. This company would be easy for Bakugo. However, yeah, there are a lot more promising and a lot more better heroes. Add that with that of the new rising coming heroes, such as that of Nice after all. And Bakugo was basically seen as, well, secondary, which made him even more volatile around that of people around him, with even more towards Izuku, who continued trying to be that of friends with him after all these years, as they've always been close due to their parents. But now, Bakugo's ego, arrogance, and the praise that he gains from that of his trust value destroyed what could have been of their friendship. But no matter what, Izuku still wants to try, not because of their family, but because he believes in him. He believes in his childhood friend who can become a great hero. But speaking of FOMO though, Izuku decided to do it himself as well. Seeing that heroes like that of Ghostblade use that of FOMO to gain that of notoriety before becoming that of, well, one of the top ranking heroes in the world, he decided to do some videos too. At first, it wasn't really that much. He didn't really know what to do. However, that all changed after his 10th video. He decided to show people that of his hero notes on that of certain heroes after all. And the effects, stats, well, trust value, and people's fandom can affect that of people's powers, especially certain heroes' powers too. Because of this one video, it basically took the, well, world by storm, mainly on that of FOMO. Because of this one video, Izuku's trust value went from that of a singular, minuscule 1 to at least that of, well, 100. With Izuku in complete and total shock, even feeling the power that he wanted to cultivate for years to be like that of his idol Smile, even getting a lot more stronger too. He continues doing his FOMO videos and then switched to that of live streams, where he would basically ramble out that of his knowledge, his theories, and that of improvement videos for that of certain heroes to help them basically improve with their powers and change up their image a little bit so they wouldn't be too hampered in that of combat after all, in case something bad happens. He basically labels off so many of the weaknesses and strengths of many top-ranking heroes, even low-ranking heroes at that as well, which some of these heroes took that of Izuku's advice, even shooting up high up into the rankings. Especially a certain, well, hero duo that's known for that of their cuteness as well. Because of this incident, Izuku's fame and trust value basically skyrocketed, with many people calling him by his temporary name, the Professor. Some even call him that of a miniature enlightener instead of bringing up facts and truths. And he brings up that of heroes' weaknesses and strengths to help them improve. Speaking of enlightener, the so-called detective hero basically also sponsors and even supports Izuku because of his research and info as well. Even doing a collab to help a certain hero improve by basically giving him certain advice that will help him get stronger by changing up certain things in his lifestyle. After doing so, that hero basically shot up high up into the rankings and even made Izuku more famous and more aware of who he is. But when it comes to that of fame, it also comes out of jealousy, spite, and hate to just to hate. For example, Bakugo found out about that of Izuku's Vidmo account and videos and figured out how much trust. When he basically confronted him during that of their junior high year, he forced Izuku to show him his trust value. With Bakugo seeing this, he couldn't help but feel completely and utterly pissed and betrayed, feeling like somebody that he used to know has hid this so much. In fact, how does the hell did Bakugo not know when a majority of people in the school also knew as well? Many people hated Izuku because of him being smart and due to him being a nerd after all, and also wanting to suck up to Bakugo that they basically messed and bullied him. But they all knew about that of Izuku's FOMO account, where Bakugo didn't even care or didn't even want to care at all. And as for that of their videos in the numbers that they have, Bakugo's numbers barely even put a dent on the numbers that Izuku makes for that of his channel. And the numbers continue to rise even more for that of his channel and his trust value, which led to that of jealousy and basically hatred towards that of his former childhood friend, with Bakugo declaring that I will be the #1 hero. I'll surpass every other hero in this godforsaken world. I won't let some loser like you get in my way, Deku! On the surface, it was a declaration of war, but when he said those words, that one word, Deku, would change everything. And it didn't just start there. With the death of that of the old E-Soul and the rise of the new E-Soul, given their battle, Izuku would begin to basically criticize that of the new E-Soul, wondering on why did he had to basically kill him? Why did he defeat him like that? Not to mention, it made no sense on why, Well, the original Iso had to use that of his super move, Lightning Slash, the same move that he used to take down that of the corrupt hero known as Zero after all, which basically leads to Izuku calling foul play on the fight, that the original Iso was manipulated into fighting his younger version. A few people basically believed with that of Izuku actually. Many of his fans even tried calling out that of the new Iso on this too, due to the rising popularity of the current new Iso being Young Shan, and his support by that of Mighty Glory Agency after all. And Izuku being new, not a lot of people basically took his words to heart, even calling Izuku that of nothing but a hater, but he didn't let it affect him. But however, even with that one spark of video led to that of other things. Few years have now gone by with people now finding out the truth about fear. Even that former pro, Boa, basically being consumed by that of fear and locked up too, for her attack on that of Queen. With Izuku basically wanting to cover this actually, now incorporating fear into his notes on how to improve a person's trust value after all, and preventing this from happening. Even finding it strange that somebody like Boa, even after losing that of her title of X to that of the newest hero, X, the mysterious one, she should have had that of plenty of trust value given her years of, well, being a great hero. She was even an inspiration for Izuku growing up too. Yet, it's almost seemed like the public was against her from the very beginning, right after she lost to X alongside Queen. However, where it seemed like Queen was able to bounce back, Boa couldn't, which basically led to him believing that somebody sabotaged that her fans alongside that of her agency, DOS, basically, well, sabotaged her trust value or an outside source that basically led to her being consumed by fear. Again, many people believed in Izuku, but a large majority began to basically go against him. This is also during the time when people also began to call him Deku. And this is due to that of many of the haters from that of his own school, hating the fact that he was a lot more popular than Bakugo and had a larger trust value to themselves as well. Soon, the name Deku began to spread all across the net, even across his comments as well, and his trust value begins to plummet. When it used to be in that of the 1000s, now it seems like it's stuck in the hundreds, barely even going over that of 500 at all. There are still many people who believe in Izuku, even that of several heroes who have to thank him for that of their rank being high up, but with all this negativity, and now with the knowledge of fear begins to spread, Izuku's videos, which used to be a way to help others, are now seen as basically that of a way to ruin people's trust in that of heroes by criticizing that of their way of life. But that's not Izuku's intent. He's just trying to show them that there's more to the world than just what is seen on that of the media. But yet, it seems way too hard. With Izuku's day coming to an end, however, one last thing happened to him. Him being taunted by that of Bakugo and his lackeys, with saying, "How's that trust value going, Deku? It's not really improving, hasn't it?" With everybody basically laughing at Izuku, with him putting his head down and basically just moving forward. With many people basically conning, saying that no way in hell he's going to be a hero now with all this hate. I guess he proves how useless he is. A good-for-nothing Deku. But then, Izuku basically clenching his fist saying, "Sure, call me that. But what about you, Kachan? What about the rest of you? None of you's even tried to be heroes at all, or even tried to do anything good." With then, soon, Baku saying, "You want to say that again, you damn nerd?" But then, Izuku saying, "At least my videos actually ended up helping people. What did yours do? Just show off on just how you could use your explosions? After all these years, you still haven't done anything to show a hero agency what you're capable of. I may be a Deku, but what does that make you? Within hearing that, Bakugo saying, "Oh, you little son of a," with as the two were about to basically throw down, with Bakugo's explosions popping out of his hands, and Izuku feeling a charge of energy coming through his body. Before then, the teacher saying, "Enough, all of you, get going, class is ended. Bakugo, come with us. There's somebody here to speak with you." Within hearing that's when Bakugo's saying, "Not worth it, Deku." Before then, walking off with his lackeys, as teacher saying, "Not just Bakugo, you all can just basically go off home." With a few of Bakugo's lackeys basically whining about this, that they're basically his friends, they need to be there for him. With Izuku scoffing at this, before saying, "Friends, right. I bet Kachan doesn't even know their names." With Izuku walking off, leaving his middle school of Aldera Junior High, walking home, while also looking through that of his Vidmo account numbers, as his viewership has basically gone down since his latest video. Even looking at that of his trust value, which has only gone up to that of 522, showing his numbers have gone down even more. And you would think Izuku possibly doing collabs or possibly helping out with that of other heroes and would basically amp up his numbers. Unfortunately, the damage has already been done, and a lot of people don't want anything to do with him. Even that of former heroes that he helped out don't want nothing to do with him now. Even that of the Enlightener, who was basically one of Izuku's biggest supporters, has basically dropped him too. Even mainly he's focusing way too much on building up his numbers and trust value, and trying to find the truth no matter what. Even if it means hurting innocent people in the process. As he continues walking home, he begins to get an alert over his phone saying that that if a civilian consumed by fear turned into that of a Sledge monster and is roaming the area, please make sure to stay safe, and if you get in contact with the villain, please stay away. The fear can affect you after all. Within hearing that, Izuku begins to keep his distance before getting another alert saying that Smile is in the area, and within realize as he couldn't help but basically smiling out of complete and utter joy, saying, "Smile's here? Smile is nearby? Oh, this is amazing!" As he couldn't help but basically jump up in joy, realizing that Smile would take care of that villain. As Izuku is getting straight home with that of a smile on his face, a pep in his step, with knowing that his idol is nearby, makes him even more devoted and dedicated to that of his dream of wanting to be a hero, no matter trust value or not. As he walks under that of an underpass, within soon, something begins to come out of that of a manhole cover. As it comes out, with Izuku begins to notice something behind him, as he can't help but have that of a look of pure and utter shock and terror, saying, "Hey kid, looks like you're here. You'll be perfect." With then, the Sledge villain was about to go straight at that of Izuku. However, Izuku channels the power that he has now due to his trust value, and basically dodges out of the attack pretty easily, with sliding back on his side. With then the Sledge villain saying, "Oh, you got powers, showing that you're probably one of a wannabe hero, aren't ya?" Before getting a good look at him saying, "Wait, I know you. You're basically that Deku kid." Within, Izuku's eyes widening, saying, "Deku?" Within saying, "Even better." Taking that of a known wannabe hero who basically is criticized over the internet, this is perfect. As Izuku is just basically stumbling there in that of pure and utter shock, as the Sledge villain was about to basically consume him around him, that's when somebody's saying, "Not today!" As then a punch that was sent by that of a burst of fiery power sends the Sledge villain flying back. With then the Sledge villain realizing, "Ah, damn it! I thought for sure I was gonna get away from you. Sorry, villain, but I can't allow you to hurt the innocent, especially a young man such as this." With Izuku hearing that voice, as he recognizes the voice so much as a kid, the voice that basically inspired him to be a hero. That being the hero Smile himself, with that of his blonde pompadour, goatee and mustache, orange biker jacket, with an orange shirt with a yellow smile on it, his signature logo, orange biker pants and biker boots actually. Within, as Izuku couldn't help but basically gawk at seeing his idol, seeing the current #3 hero and the former #1 X. I'm good to know that you're doing good, citizen. Are you okay, young man? With Izuku still basically having massive stars in his eyes and completely and utterly at shock, within saying, "Oh, do you need medical aid? I'm not sure if either did my attack hurt you or," within Izuku snapping out of it saying, No, you didn't hurt me at all, Smile. You saved me. It's truly an honor. I'm a huge fan, a big fan of you since I was a kid. Within, hearing that, Smile still smiling as always, saying, "I'm glad to hear that, young man." Within, thinking, I think I've seen this kid before realizing, oh yeah, Momo. There's also a huge amount of controversy about him too, basically calling out that of heroes and even the agencies, but not in the way of malice, but in a good way of trying to bring awareness to the situations. We need more kids like him, but in this current society, his voice is just going to be drowned out by that of every other person and the agencies. So, take care, young man. I'll be taking care of that villain. Be safe! With then flying off in the distance to catch up with that of the Sledge villain. With then, Izuku can up and say, I can't believe it. I met that of Smile. I met my idol. With then realizing, I should have asked if I could have became a hero. With then thinking, he probably doesn't even watch my videos anyway. But then thinking, not only that, I froze up. I froze up when he called me Deku. Just like everybody else. Everybody that insults me. Everybody that sees me as useless. With Izuku bringing his head down before he begins to walk off. But instead of heading home, he decides to take that of the, scenic route, going near downtown actually. After a few minutes of basically walking around to clear his mind, that's when he notices that of several people bringing out their phones, taking pictures of a nearby alleyway fire, with Izuku trying to get by, see what's going on, hoping to get some notes on that if any heroes are going to come by. However, as soon as he looks at that, he sees that it's the same Sledge villain from before that tried to take over his body. The same villain that Smile was actually there, was trying to come after, within realizing, wait, where's Smile? He should have taken care of this villain already. He would never. Within realizing he must have found a way to hide away from him. There's no other explanation on why Smile wouldn't be here. With the crowd basically going, hey, did you know that this was a villain that was supposed to be wandering? Yeah. Wasn't Smile supposed to take care of this thing? Hey, any of the other heroes are going to be showing up? I don't want to just waste my time here after all. Saying, hey, don't you know that that villain has a hostage? With hearing that, Izuku saying, wait, hostage? Getting closer and closer before hearing explosions in the distance. Is seeing that of the Sledge villain trying to wrap around that of somebody that he knows all too well. That being his childhood friend, now turned frenemy, Katsuki Bakugo. Within, he couldn't help but say, Kachan? Within, the villain couldn't help but giggle, saying, oh, you are perfect. Even though your trust value is basically trash, your power alone is pretty damn incredible. With Bakugo struggling, sending more and more explosions everywhere, saying, let go of me, you damn freak! Struggling so much, but no matter what he does, it isn't helping. Add that with the Sledge villain able to redirect his explosions to other places, causing more and more flames to be consumed and the area around them being destroyed by the shockwaves, makes it even harder and harder if a hero shows up. Also, you may be wondering, why is Bakugo even in this situation when he was back at that of the school? Well, a few hours ago, when Bakugo was sent to that of the principal's office, turns out a manager from a hero agency, mainly for that of the Future Heroes Group agency, wanted Bakugo, seeing his potential with his powers after all, and wants to sponsor him once he gets into high school to train him up to become a great hero. Within hearing this, Bakugo saying, "It's about time you saw my potential after all," with the principal saying, I'm actually happy for you, Bakugo." But he couldn't help but ask the manager if the Future Heroes Group basically sees potential in young Bakugo, what about that of Mr. Midoriya as well? Within hearing that, Bakugo couldn't help but growl. Within the manager saying, "Ah, yes, we basically diverged and honestly see great potential in Mr. Midoriya, but right now he's too controversial. There's a chance we could see backlash due to him and his controversial takes on that of the current hero society. His takes on the current new ESOL, alongside that on basically creating a conspiracy about that of Boa's downfall, has already still caused quite a bit of a stir even after all these years. He has the potential, but unless he changes his tune and goes back to the content he used to do to help improve that of today's heroes, then there's no way he'll ever be not of true hero material." With that, Bakugo couldn't help but have that of a smug look, saying, "See, Deku, you never had potential at all. Well, I'm reaching the top." With that, Bakugo leaves Aldera and plans on hanging around the town, bragging about him becoming the next #1 hero, the next X, surpassing whoever that freaking white-haired wannabe even is. As he's commenting on that of X, thinking that he can basically beat the new #1. Many of his entourage and people who suck up to him, they are believing in him. Hell, because of this, his trust value is basically going up even higher and higher than before, as he can feel his explosions getting more and more powerful, as he's just waiting for the opportunity to rub it into that of Deku's face. So, however, that may come even later than before, as the Sledge villain basically creeps up behind that of these kids saying, "Oh, I saw that power of yours, and your trust value is so high. You'll do perfectly." Within, Bakugo was about to let off an explosion towards the Sledge villain, but it soon lunges at him so quickly that he couldn't even react fast enough. That's what currently happening now in the alleyway, with Bakugo struggling quite a bit to get out of the Sledge villain's grasp, with Izuku seeing his former childhood friend struggling quite a bit, with then just wondering why he should stay here. He should basically stay out of it. I mean, this is Kachan. He can do anything. When he puts his mind to it, he'll always be. However, as soon as he saw Bakugo's eyes, that's when his body begins to react and move on its own at that very moment. With then, many of the spectators can help but be shocked, with many of them on their phones still recording this, could help but say, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" Within one saying, "Hey, isn't that Izuku Midoriya?" With another one saying, "Yeah, the professor? No, that's Deku. What the hell does he think he's doing?" With then, smile in the air, noticing the situation, realizing that's probably where he is now. Can't believe it took me this long to even catch up with him. I'm starting to lose my steam like I used to. With that of his enhanced hearing, he begins to hear the crowd saying, "Hey, get back here, kid! You're gonna get yourself hurt! Stop, Midoriya! It's not worth it!" With then, one, as Smile saying, "Wait, Midoriya, that kid I saved." With as Izuku blitzing towards them, with his power basically channeling across his body as lightning, almost similar to that of ESOL's power, begins crackling around him. However, It's not lightning, but stock power. As he blitzes towards that of the Sledge villain, saying, "You!" Before then, he jumps up into the air, before making a fist, gritting his teeth with all his might, before sending out thrust of his hand, saying, "Smash!" As soon sending that of a powerful gust of air pressure, making the Sledge villain feel like he's being torn apart. Before then, using this opportunity, Izuku tried to grab Bakugo out of the Sledge villain's grasp, saying, "What the hell are you doing here, Deku?" With then saying, "Shut up and let me help you." Gotcha, and saying, "I don't need your help. I said shut up and let me help. I couldn't just let you stay there. I couldn't let you die. That's not what it means to be a hero." With then hearing that, Bakugo couldn't help but be completely and utterly shocked by this. Before then, the villain saying, "You damn brat!" as is about to slam its tendril slimy arm towards that of Izuku, with Izuku using all of his might. However, at the same time, his trust value begins to rise a little bit by bit, giving him the strength he needs to pull out Bakugo, causing Bakugo and Izuku to slump down to the ground. Realizing he missed, saying, "I'm not gonna miss this time. You damn brats, you're dead!" Within, that's when a familiar voice saying, "Not on my watch," flying down, and that's of a blazing inferno, slamming both fists down onto that of the Sledge villain, as a huge explosion of tornado flames soon consumed that of the area, but only where the Sledge villain is. But Bakugo and Izuku are unscathed, as the two middle school boys couldn't help but have that of look of pure and utter awe and shock. With then the Sledge villain feeling the burns and flames consuming him, say, "Damn you, Smile!" With Smile having that of a big and amazing smile as he always has, having the villain strapped behind in his grasp, with the crowd basically going wild for the number 3 hero, with the authorities now showing up with a few other heroes coming by too, to get the statements of Izuku, Bakugo, with then many crowds saying, "Way to go, Deku!" Say, "Yeah, way to go, Deku!" You guys know that his original name was the Professor, right? Saying, "Yeah, but don't you think Deku sounds a lot better? It's a lot more catchier than the Professor." Now I think about it, where the hell did Deku even come from? I mean, it sounds a lot cuter, but still, who cares? Whatever the name means as an insult doesn't matter now, as the crowd basically goes wild for Izuku. With then, Smiles coming to that of Izuku saying, "You were quite rash. You rushed in there without a plan, I can tell." But then, Izuku looking down saying, "But, you know what they say, a hero is always there to save when they can. If they got the trust value and the power to do so, they should do it. That's what I always say." Hearing that from his idol, Izuku's eyes can help at him big and open wide. Within, everything still continues to record, and saying, I believe you could be a great hero. Honestly, I also like your content. It's always fun to know what you can think of that of certain heroes that can improve. I kinda miss that content of yours, young man." When hearing that, Izuku couldn't help but have that of tears about to come down his eyes, being acknowledged by his hero, and even encouraging him too. With the crowd whispering saying, "Wait, Smile watches Deku's video?" Saying, "Holy crap, if I knew that, I would have not avoided him like the plague. Maybe we should check it out after this." Yeah. As all the civilians hearing about this couldn't help but get excited at his FOMO account, checking out that of his videos and everything, which in the meantime, he feels like his trust value is even rising even more than before. But at the meantime, somebody else takes a liking to Izuku, a certain CEO of a hero agency and in charge of the FOMO video site. But then, He looking through his phone as he couldn't help but smile, saying, huh, well, this is interesting. I knew the kid had potential, especially his analyzation skills have been perfect for that of Ghostblade when he's tracking down a target. Doc was right, this kid is perfect. And now, within seeing that of the kid's videos getting more and more, well, noticeable by time goes on, realizing I think it's about time to finally put the kid in the fold now. He's ready. As Izuku's trust value went from that of a mere 500 to that of 20,000. The very next day, due to that of, well, Smile helping out and him going with that, him taking on that of the Sledge villain a bit to save Bakugo, and just like always, no matter the universe, Bakugo tried to belittle Izuku and tell him that he didn't need his help at all, that he could have handled it himself. But of course, Izuku didn't care about that at all, and is just glad that his former childhood friend is safe. On the way back home, he soon enters his apartment, before then noticing that of another pair of shoes at the door, as they are basically sandals, saying, Mom, is everything okay? Do we have guests? Within, seeing that of his mother, who's basically a spitting image of Izuku. Only difference is that she has that of a, well, green ponytail and a little bit rounder, but still has a beautiful figure all the same. Seeing that of a young man, well, should be a young man, but is actually old, a little bit older than he looks, with that of messy, shaggy hair, with that of a pink headband, and also wearing that of a white t-shirt with that of pink around the sleeves, with wearing that of with brown shorts, saying, hello, how you doing, little Izuku there? Within, Izuku blinking multiple times, saying, what? You're Zack, CEO of FOMO. Within saying, of course. And I know almost all those who basically sign up with that of my video site. You've been active on quite a long time, since you were at least that of 12 years old, if I recall. And you're 15 actually. Within hearing that, saying, outstanding. You should be in high school by that of a few months from now, isn't that right? With Izuku nodding, saying, good. I have a proposition, and I was just telling your mother about this, actually. Within, Izuku looks at his mother, saying, Mom? With her just smiling, saying, Izuku, this is your big break. I know how much you have been working so hard, and everything that happened with that of your downfall, with the decline of your channel, and even that of your FOMO account. But what happened yesterday, even though I was so scared, a lot of people basically took interest in you. Even the CEO of Finmo. Then Zack couldn't help but smile, saying, yep, you got a lot of potential, little Midoriya. With Izuku saying, it's truly an honor, and I'm grateful, but why? Within, him basically getting a little bit serious, but still having his smile, saying, I like to say this. How would you like to be sponsored under FOMO as a hero? And not like that of just your typical videos that you normally do in analyzing that of heroes and how to improve their trust value. No, I want you to actually be out there to helping people, just like you did yesterday. With Izuku shocked by this offer, he couldn't help but say, it's always been my dream, to wanting to be a hero, to wanting to help and protect people. I wanted to be just like that of Smile, if that's all right. But then he's saying, if anything, I think Smile himself was the catalyst to help you, especially since your trust value has gone up so high since then. Smile has always been well respected after all, even after losing the title of X. And with that, you need to take the opportunity here and now, become the hero that you meant to be. So, what did you say? As he stands up, walking over to that of the green-eyed boy, as a tan-skinned, messy-haired man couldn't help but offer that of his hand. towards Izuku. Without no hesitation at all, for the one step towards his dream, saying, I will, sir. But then saying, good, for the time being, we'll help you improve and train yourself, your trust value, and improve your powers and abilities too. We can't fully fold you into that of FOMO as a sponsored hero just yet until you graduate from junior high school, which if I recall, you only have that of a few months left. Wait, what about my high school, exams? I still have to take care of the entrance exams for them yet. But then Zack saying, oh, don't worry about it. We'll basically get you ahead of time before then. I'd rather not waste the potential you have now and the trust value that you have now too. Don't waste any opportunity that you can to reach the top. As Zack says all this with that of a caring and somewhat exciting tone, however, we all know what he truly wants for that of Izuku. With Izuku saying, all right, I'll do it, sir. I'll sign with that of FOMO, and I'll promise I'll be a great hero. A hero that people can always rely on, no matter what. With then Zack saying, good. Well, I'll bring the contract here about that of tomorrow after you're done with school. If there are any flexibilities or anything you want to change up ahead of time, best to tell me now. With then Izuku saying, okay, how about this? As Izuku has that of a few, demands, nothing too major, but just enough to help out. Allow him to do his FOMO channel to help out that of heroes. Allow him to still go to school from time to time, mainly so he can still have that of a normal life outside of just being a hero. And last but not least, allow that of his mom to not get involved with that of the limelight after all. Allow her to just be herself. With that, Zack agrees to each one, and so not really too much of a problem. Well, maybe the last one, but he won't say that out loud. When now all that taken care of, Zack leaves the Midoriya residence, with Inko basically hugging that of her precious baby boy, happy that he can finally achieve his dream, that she was just so worried, but she always believed in him. As of course, she was always and will be his first person who believed in him, even when nobody else did as well. As a year has now gone by, Izuku graduated from Aldera Junior High and now goes to that of a prestigious school, not to be trained as a hero, as he would be doing that with that of FOMO actually. While training with that of FOMO would basically make a live stream introducing that of their newest up-and-coming hero, that being Izuku, or his hero name, Deku, as his sponsors alongside the advertisers for FOMO basically told Izuku to go with the name Deku. As Izuku was kind of shocked by this, he wondered why he should go with the name that was nothing but an insult for him for a good few years of his life, and was the reason behind his FOMO channel almost being obliviated to obscurity after all. As for Zack himself, telling him to take the name that was once a symbol of his downfall, but to a name that would be a symbol of his rise to be a great hero. Izuku was kind of shocked by this, but decided to take it, as it would be a better name than that of just the professor after all. Because of this, a lot of people pushed a lot of more trust value onto that of Izuku, even checking out that of his FOMO channel once more, where he still did videos while also training and, surprisingly, even taking on that of, fear-induced that of victims too, like the Sledge villain. However, the current year is that of AC 38. Izuku is about to turn that of 16 years old in that of a few months, and is training with FOMO to figure out that of his trust value powers has begun to rise even more and more than before. For example, his power just allowed him to basically give him superhuman strength and speed. However, as he's basically been a hero nerd and knows how every hero's powers work one way or another, he decided to incorporate several heroes' abilities and figuring out maybe he could try and learn how to use them. Maybe not use them himself, but make at least that of copies of them. Originally, he always tried to incorporate that of Smile's powers of superhuman strength, speed, durability, and also firepower, but he never could do the fire thing. However, he did figure out a way to basically use that of the flight, but mainly as him just floating, but enhanced with that of his superhuman speed and reflexes. He is able to basically fly, but only when using that of air, to use his air pressure to propel him even more forward. But his investors alongside sponsors told him not to take up too much of not to, well, follow after Smile. If he did, he would basically be, well, a crutch and a copycat. He would basically be turning into that of another E-Soul, and currently, the current E-Soul is rank number 3, given that he's constantly always active all the time. Because of this, Izuku decided to take up other heroes' abilities, incorporate them in his own way, in a way that's unique to him and him alone. However, he doesn't want to just figure out how to use their abilities and powers themselves, but instead he asked permission, which soon led to that of himself finding out that his power isn't trying to basically be similar to that of Smile's, but he's able to mimic the powers of any hero he has respect for to a weaker degree, but over time they would grow stronger as he uses them. Into doing this and figure out each and every one of the heroes that he respects to a huge degree and understands that their powers to a finite, develop new powers such as that of the superhuman strength and speed that he had already, to the flying abilities of float, to one power being that of smoke screens, the other black-like tendrils that are similar to that of fear but not really. It originally came from that of a hero who was known for using these tendrils to basically swing around like that of a spider. Another hero who wasn't really that high up into the rankings and mainly just retired, whose power basically gave him that of danger sense, basically making him that of a somewhat first responder. And the two other heroes he would end up basically gaining powers from were heroes who, well, didn't have any good respect for that of the current generation of heroes. But it didn't matter, as Izuku already knew what their powers were. The power to absorb kinetic energy with that of rapid motions and repeating actions, and the other, the power to control a person's inertia, to either speeding it up or basically stop it altogether from whatever he touches or himself as well, as this would be Izuku's power, the power to understand everything about that of heroes' powers themselves and incorporate them to himself, as it would be one for all. Because of this, Izuku's popularity basically skyrocketed. Originally, he was never even part of the hero rankings officially, but ever since basically signing up with that of FOMO, one of the big 4 of hero agencies, well, it basically skyrocketed his popularity to rank 20. Even though he hasn't done any, well, combat or fighting that of any villains at all, or taken down anybody, or even saved anybody, to be fair. All he's done is basically done, well, promotional materials, still doing his FOMO account videos on analyzing heroes and current society. Speaking of, he covered something on that of a certain incident that would happen during the current, well, hero tournament that was supposed to happen. That being the battle between Queen and Boa, two female heroes DOS. With not only that, Izuku found out that Boa's trust value over the years has basically plummeted to freaking 0, which makes no sense. Even he still trusts her, so it made no sense on why her trust value was 0. Not to mention, even doing his research online, there are still plenty of people who are fans of Boa. Not die-hard fans like they used to be, but are still fans of the weapon-based female heroine. Which, again, the video proved that somebody was sabotaging her trust value. That video he made about that a year ago, now basically showing merit. which even, surprisingly, actually helped Boa, to be fair. After the incident, instead of just being thrown away and locked away for basically nearly trying to kill Queen, she was given at least an ultimatum. Community service, actually. Given that she was corrupted by that of fear, add that with the evidence showing that her trust value was manipulated and faked, and by that of the media, which led to that of several heroes, that of reporters basically doing that of investigating on that of Boa's manipulation and sabotage of her trust value, soon led to back to that of certain individuals within DOS basically sabotaging and basically bribing certain reporters and talk show hosts to talk bad about Boa, to sabotage that of her, trust value after her loss against X, and Queen rising back up to that of the rankings after that of the, Lucky Cyan incident. Soon led to certain, employees from DOS and also that same talk show host who was talking crap about that of Boa being fired from their jobs, and Boa herself getting at least a second chance to become a hero again. And all thanks to Izuku, which also skyrocketed his popularity once again into that of the top 20s, around that of rank 17. However, it would be one incident that would basically teeter him onto the edge of the top 10, actually. Izuku was given the opportunity and chance to basically put his training and skills finally onto the field to basically fight against that of villains and save people. As Izuku mainly wants to try and save people before he can basically fight against villains after all, he still feels like he's not entirely ready for that yet. However, his FOMO sponsors basically tell him that this is the perfect opportunity, the best chance for him to basically get higher up into the rankings, allowing him to go on patrols and basically take care of that of certain villains all across that of the city, around that of certain cities. With Izuku hearing this, saying, I haven't even fought against that of certain villains or anything like that. I was just hoping that I would do more rescue, actually. Within one of his investors saying, you will. You'll just have to face against villains and save people at the same time. Nothing wrong with that. With that, Izuku still a little bit nervous, but reassured, but deciding to motivate himself and do it anyway. The very next week, Izuku on that of a night patrol, taking on that of multiple tasks as that of a hero. He did fight against a few villains here and there, mainly that of bank robbers, people causing that of mindless destruction here and there. Also, he did save more people than he did that of fighting against villains. Burning buildings, a few collapsed buildings, that of a highway nearly getting destroyed by that of a nearby hero and villain fight, actually. Because of this, in one night, Izuku's popularity basically grew quite high from his trust value alone. Not only that, while signing autographs and also taking pictures with that of a few of his fans, he was soon about to go off. Before then, hearing that of people in the crowd saying, really hope Deku doesn't get involved with that of the hero killer. Within, another person saying, oh yeah, I heard that the hero killers might be in town today. Yeah, I really hope that Deku doesn't become that of his 21st kill. He's already killed over 20 heroes in the past few months. Just hope that Deku is safe and doesn't get himself into any trouble. Doubtful. Kid's still young. He's not ready to fight something like that. He'll pretty much run away. Within hearing that, Izuku still realized that not a lot of people still believe in him, but then again, this is the hero killer we're talking about. The hero killer who's been making a name on himself on that of, FOMO, after all, with many people making accounts about him, saying on how strong he is, how capable he is to take care of heroes, not just in that of the top 100, but also in that of the top 20, where he's even at too. Even so, he can't just run away from that of a problem. He has to save people. If he can avoid the hero killer, then he will. But if he can't, and if he has to fight, then and while he's walking, thinking this through, that's when somebody screamed, "Help!" With then hearing that, Izuku, without warning and without any hesitation at all, screamed to where the help was. Before then, he noticed it. That of a hero of the local city being pinned against the wall by that of the hero killer, wearing that of a black outfit and uniform, a basically Kevlar gray vest with that of spiked boots, and also a tattered red scarf, red bandana over his eyes, and multiple knives over his sides, and a long katana that looks like that of an odachi, but with no guard on it. As the man was about to basically stab him and stab the hero, that he grabbed by that of his mouth and the head. That's when Izuku soon stepped in, about to slam that of a punch into that of the hero, into that of the villain. Within, the man wasn't able to react fast enough, but he still was able to turn with that of the punch and readjust himself right in mid-air, within saying, "Somebody getting in my way," and within realizing, "Wait, I know you." Within saying, "Don't fear, because I'm here to stop you." Within saying, "You're that brat, Midoriya, Professor, or now you go by Deku. I've seen your Vomo videos, and you're nothing but a damn fake, it seems." Within, soon, Izuku could feel a chill down his spine, and that's of absolute fear. Within, soon, clenching his fists, saying, "Look, I understand that you're a little disappointed with the current generation of heroes, but killing them isn't helping anybody." But then saying, "You don't get to judge, you damn fake. Smile recognized you as a hero. The man who I see as the true pinnacle of heroes acknowledged you, and yet you wasted it by being nothing but another corporate lapdog, another corporate stooge, another false hero." Within, Izuku's eyes widening, saying, "False hero? So that's what he meant by false heroes. I remember seeing videos saying that he only goes after heroes who are under that of agencies. He hasn't gone after those with that of big names and that of the big name corporations, like I and FOMO. But he's mainly going after those in that of the lower rankings." With then saying, "Just look at you. You say that you're here to help out those in need, but you're decided to work with that bastard Zack. You're another corporate stooge who only cares more about making money than care about that of the people." Within saying, "You're not entirely wrong." Within, Izuku looking down with his hair shadowing his eyes, saying, "It's true that part of me is seen as that of a corporate lapdog, and I haven't really done much hero work until tonight. Saving people, protecting people, it's everything I ever wanted. And not only that, I don't care if I'm seen as a fake in your eyes. As long as I can make people smile, as long as I can give them hope, as long as I can be just like that of Smile himself, that's all that matters to me. And you're in the way of making everybody smile, Stain." Within, Izuku giving off that of a determination smile himself, even though it's quite shaky, he still isn't giving up. With Stain thinking, sure, even though you work with those hypocrisy and hypocrites, you still stand your ground even now. But then he came up with a smile saying, "Let's see if your conviction can rival mine." As bringing out that of multiple blades, before then tossing them towards Izuku. As then Izuku bringing out that of Black Whip, knocking away multiple of those knives easily. with Stain bringing out his sword and Izuku rushing towards Stain too, as the battle between these two just begun, with Izuku using that of Black Whip and Danger Sense to dodge each and every one of Stain's attacks pretty easily, while also making sure that he didn't get cut, as he remembers certain videos and heroes that did survive that of Stain talk about that he licked their blood or stabbed them some way or another with that of his knives or sword, so he has to keep his distance. Not only that, while moving around, he's channeling that of Fa Jin at the same time, preparing to deal one savage, powerful blow to bring him down. However, Stain is no slouch either, even without using his main power. For some reason, he has trust value. Trust value mixed in with fear, which makes him a lot more harder and more damaging opponent as well. As Izuku continues to move around and waiting for the perfect opportunity to finally unleash all of his kinetic energy from Fa Jin, somebody else was watching over them, as it being a certain hero in the top 10 rankings. A hero wearing all black and gold embroidery, with having that of a gold mask rebreather over his face and silver gray hair, as this being the number 5 hero, Ghostblade, or Wang Yi. Seeing the fight basically continue on, as Ghostblade not even interfering or stepping in at all. As the fight continues on, as soon Izuku basically rushing towards him with that of Black Whip, gauntlet, and wrapped around that of his gauntlets of his hero costume, with Stain basically preparing his blade for one final slash. Even though he acknowledged Izuku to be a true hero, acknowledged by that of Smile, he's still in his way, and an obstacle must be removed, no matter how worthy they are. Within Izuku chant at the same time saying, "Gear shift." With that, Izuku began to change. His body moves faster. He feels like his body's a lot more lighter, and his eyes have that of a menacing green glow sparking out of them like flames. As soon he deals one powerful blow after another at Stain so fast that both his brain and his body could barely register them, as he goes first gear, second gear, and top gear. One for all, overdrive smash! With each and every one of those blows basically dealing a powerful blow to his body, with him even finishing it off with that of one powerful smash kick towards his back, leaving that of Stain completely and utterly broken and feeling unconscious. With Izuku being pushed past his limits, deactivating his power, one for all, and finally standing tall, with a few other heroes alongside that of the police and even that of civilians noticing this, and couldn't help but comment at that of Izuku defeating the hero killer all by himself, with reporters and the news media getting coverage over that of Izuku defeating that of the hero killer Stain. As for that of Ghostblade, who saw everything and didn't even react before answering his phone, as a man saying, "Well, I'm surprised that you didn't act when you were supposed to. You were supposed to kill that brat, Izuku Midoriya. Why didn't you?" Within Ghostblade, even though he can't speak or say anything or express anything, when he looks at that of Izuku, he couldn't help but smile while talking to the reporters, feeling a little bit, looking on how nervous he is too, as he couldn't help but say, or mentally say to himself, "He reminds me too much of my daughter." Within Rock saying, "Oh well, even if you can't say anything or not, I'll give you another task ahead of time. Make sure that you complete this one at least." with Ghostblade hanging up and heading out into the cold night, basically surrounding himself in the shadows once again. After that incident, Izuku basically, bumped himself high up into that of the rankings, on basically being ranked 11, basically even surpassing that of up-and-coming rising hero, Nice, the perfect hero, as many of the public, and even that of those of Tree Man Industries, likes to call him. During this time, this was also during the incident where Queen basically fought against Boa, and it even led to that of more about on why Boa basically lost out of her trust value. That again, she was sabotaged by that of the media and by her own agency. Because again, it made no sense. Izuku, who has been a huge fan of Boa, alongside that of Smile and many other heroes, he never lost faith in them. He always has trust for them at least once or a while after all. And he never lost faith in Boa, but yet it said during that of the incident that she had no trust value and she was consumed by fear itself, which led to that of Izuku basically talking about this, bringing up another video about how somebody sabotaged Boa's trust value and manipulated her too. And due to Izuku's newest fame, alongside that new video with people checking it out, many people couldn't help but confirm this. Even some heroes alongside reporters doing their own research onto that the incident, which brought out that of certain, employees within DOS, and even that of a certain talk show host was paid off to basically badmouth Boa just so her trust value would dip and divide. And so they could basically pump up Queen and Lucky Cyan. So in a way, Boa was nothing but a sacrificial pawn for that of her fellow heroes within the agency. And even though Boa was basically about to be sent away to suffer for her crimes and trying to kill that in her attempted murder on that of Queen, thanks to Izuku's efforts alongside a few pros, and even DOS having to bring out that of apology from their CEO, Queen was given at least that of a light probation and community service, and basically barred from being a hero ever again. But even so, she's free. And it's all thanks to Izuku for exposing the truth. And due to this, his ranking even went higher, becoming that of rank number 10, right before that of the new year, as he overtakes that of Fern Man, another one of the top 10 heroes who has been quite popular for years now, just like that of Smile. During this time, this would also be that of the, alien site incident actually, where many heroes would basically clash with one another, and would also bring into light about that of certain corruption within that of the hero agency. During this time, Izuku was also in his own little investigation outside of this. While he gotten used to fighting against more and more villains outside of just common criminals and stuff like that, there was one villain that he was basically tasked to taking down, a psychopathic murderer who didn't discriminate. It didn't matter if you were a civilian or a hero or even a fellow villain. All he cared about was causing carnage. And this was a guy by the name of Muscular. However, Izuku wouldn't fight against Muscular until the year after that of the alien crash incident, right at the moment where his idol would take his last breath. Currently, Izuku finding Muscular into that of an abandoned building, where he soon saw that of the massive, short, blonde-haired and one-eyed man. Within, Izuku telling him that he's here to bring him into justice for his crimes, with Muscular saying, "Let's see if you can back it up, you little hero wannabe," with then feeling Muscular's power, as it isn't trust value, but pure fear like nothing but fear alone. With Izuku completely shocked about this. When he fought against Stain, he had both fear and trust value too, which would give him the upper hand due to many people admiring Stain and his ideals on what it means to be a hero, on that of FOMO after all, and how much he basically put the fear in that of low-ranking heroes. But right now, this isn't that. It's absolute fear. And how is this even possible? With the battle between these two basically becoming something that everybody would remember alongside another incident at the same time, as Izuku was basically pushing Muscular towards his limit, making sure to keep him away from that of populated areas, not wanting him to have that of a hostage or hurt anybody. But even so, Muscular isn't going down. Even with Izuku using Gear Shift, Fa-Jin, and even that of Black Whip to overwhelm him, Muscular still won't go down. Within, soon, Izuku feeling the strain of his powers, before then saying, "What's the matter, brat? Come on, give me more! I've never had so much of a fun-ass fight in a long time!" Within, Izuku saying, "What is this to you? A game? Taking innocent people's lives is nothing but a damn game to you?" Within, Muscular saying, "Well, of course it is. That's the point. In this world, it doesn't matter. Heroes are everywhere. People like me, we can't even enjoy ourselves anymore. I'd rather go back to the days before the commission, the days when Zero ruled the world." Within, Izuku's eyes whining, the day where the greatest hero became the world's greatest villain. At least people like me had a chance to basically go all out, go crazy with my powers. Not to mention fear. The fear is just so intoxicating. It gives me so much a chance to see all the kind of blood in the world. And just like that, Izuku snapped, blitzing towards that of Muscular and not even holding anything back anymore. Basically beating the living dog shit out of Muscular, holding nothing back as he continued laying blow after blow after blow from punches and kicks alone. With Muscular actually feeling the pain within, soon trying to deal one last final punch down to that of Izuku, just saying, "Just die already!" Within, not even holding anything back, as Izuku gives him a menacing glare, saying, "No, you die." With one solitary punch towards his chest, sending that of Muscular is flying backwards, nearly even caving in his chest as well. But surprisingly, Muscular survived it, with all the layers of muscle over his body. With Izuku catching his breath, feeling the overwhelming of his quirks, and even the beating that he took from Muscular as well. Even with that of Danger Sense and everything, it was overwhelming, showing how much that this was his toughest battle yet. But during this time, he was in that of the hospital being looked after. On that very day, as he looked at the news, he saw it, that his idol, his hero, the person that he admired the most in this world, Smile, is dead. As it went into details about him being consumed by fear, trying to kill the hero Dragon Boy, with even Nice being involved too, not doing much anything to stopping the incidents from happening. With that, Izuku basically felt everything about him drop right then and there. That his idol and hero is gone, just like that. Also, during this time, Dragon Boy, who was already in that of the top 10, would basically rank all the way up to that of top three, which made Izuku even more pissed as well, which soon led to him wondering on what happened to his hero. Why did this happen? And it should have never happened to begin with. and yet it did. But before he could investigate about that of his idol, he was soon reminded about that of his case with Muscular, and how somebody like him basically got this much power from fear alone. It soon led to him to that of a certain shadowy organization, an organization that not even that of the, agencies or even the Hero Commission is aware of, and that is the Spotlight Agency. It's because of them that DJ Shindig ended up basically going after Glimmer Labs. It's because of them that Muscular was as powerful as he is, and also the other reason why even now certain heroes are even being consumed by this too, alongside innocent people. Even though the commission and the agency are the things that need to be taken care of, it's the Spotlight Agency that's also causing this chaos as well, forcing Izuku to choose between the two. As he chooses Spotlight, as currently the agencies and the commission are still needed, at least for now. And during this time, Izuku, when taking down Muscular, being one of the most viewed fights with Izuku, he ranked up to that of rank number 5, which elevates him to that of the new 21st Hero Tournament, as Izuku is now ready to take on his fellow heroes, where he wants to become the next number 1 hero, the next X. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how'd you guys like this? This is mainly that of Izuku's story and how he got to that at the top 10, like I said in the beginning, and how he would basically go. Not to mention, I did say I would only add a few MHA characters, mainly that of Inko, Bakugo, Stain, and also that of Muscular too. Mainly that of Bakugo and Inko because, of course, they're important characters to Izuku. And Muscular and Stain, they're basically important villains in Izuku's arc after all, and his growth. Not to mention, Izuku is okay with being part of the commission, but he is also aware that he's only one person and that he can't just change the commission by himself. So he basically wants to take care of the more threatening issue, which was the Spotlight Agency, which is turning people and using fear to control them after all, or use fear for their own ends and means. So yeah, I hope you guys like this, and to be Hero X one-shots are gonna keep on coming. So with all that said, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to get my videos uploaded to the channel. Also, please check out my Discord, gaming channel, side channel, other channel, Patreon, and Cash App. All link in description below.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video,
take care.
Click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell. And check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!